Hello, we'll begin our Anytime Anywhere access using Autodesk BIM 360 Glue section by taking a look at the administrative console for BIM 360 Glue. Here we are logged in as our user, David Sanchez, and he does have administrative rights for this project and host. We can see a list of our projects and manage them at any time. We'll scroll down here and see that we have the Oakwood Medical Center, which is a new project, and we can manage the project members. We have 3 people that are part of this project so far, and let's go ahead and invite another one by selecting the Add button. We can begin the search for a person simply by typing their name, and we can see that Deb Miller shows up. We'll go ahead and add her to the project. We can change their role at the same time. In this case, we do want her to be a full member of the project because she's going to be handling the structural components of our project and adding models for us. We can customize the project message. In this case, I'll stick to the stock one and go ahead and select Send Invitation. So again, to set up that Anytime, Anywhere access, we're adding project members to our project, and they in turn will get an invite to come in and then manage their side of that project. In this case, adding information from their design. Let's switch gears a little bit here and take a look at things from Deb's point of view. We have her email open here, and I'm going to go ahead and refresh that email, and we should in turn get a brand new invite from Autodesk BIM 360 Glue welcoming her to the Oakwood Medical Center. We can see that David Sanchez was the one who sent it. There's the message from them, and I can go ahead and select on Take Me There, and it'll go and log us in as Deb. Once the application is launched, we simply add our username and of course our password, sign in, and now we will have access to that project we were just invited to. If this is your first time logging into the project, you will get a welcome screen. And this is a great part of logging into Glue in that we have this heads-up display that can pop up for us, taking through all the major components of working with Glue, including how to upload models, open models, find and manage clashes, create and share markups, access models on the iPad, as well as a video gallery that takes us through other functions. For now, we're going to go ahead and dismiss that, and we'll see here that we have the Oakwood Medical Center. From this landing page, we have a couple things available to us. There's an overview that'll show us the name of the project, any activity that is there for the project. It's a brand new project, so we don't have anything in here just quite yet. Merged models and models. There's a couple different ways to add information to this project. We can simply come to the Models tab and select the Upload Models. This allows us to drag and drop or browse, and then once we browse, we can select from the many different file types that are supported with BIM 360 Glue. Alternatively, we can use the add-ins and go ahead and install the BIM 360 add-in to our application, whether it be an Autodesk-based application like Revit, AutoCAD, or Navisworks Manage. One benefit here is that the 2015 versions of these products come with the ability to install the BIM 360 add-in automatically. So your users may have this configured already. If they don't, they can just come to the add-ins page, download the 2015 version, and install that add-in automatically. In order to get some models uploaded, we will use that add-in for Autodesk Revit 2015. So we'll switch gears here and look at the structural model and upload one model from there to show the process. Here we are in Autodesk Revit 2015. We have the structural model for this medical center opened up. Note that I am logged in, or this person is logged in onto their Autodesk 360 account, deb.miller. And we'll go ahead and look at our add-ins and see that we have our BIM 360 add-in automatically displayed for us. So off of our add-ins ribbon, we'll go ahead and select the Glue button. We'll be prompted for things like the host. In this case, we have a training host that we're using, as well as the project to select. So in this case, Deb has access to 3 projects. We're going to select that new one that we just looked at in Glue in order to upload all the information. We can select our views. Right now we have our current view selected automatically for us, the 3D first floor. At the same time, I can choose to upload more, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and pick the other floors for the structural model. Before we hit go, we can review and confirm anything. A couple tips here. The first thing is we can change the names of these models if we need to. Sometimes you have a very generic name coming out of your model, your Revit file. We can go ahead and override that here. We can also add these to folders that we have in our context up on the Glue project. Right now I'm going to keep this hierarchy fairly flat, but this is our opportunity to add information into a folder hierarchy, whether it be by discipline or by level. However we wish to organize that, we have that control. It is telling us that is new models being glued, so that's great that it recognizes that things have not been glued yet. And then we can also determine if we want to include more information as well as what coordinate system we're working with. For now, we'll leave all this to our defaults, and we'll say glue it. And Autodesk BIM 360 Glue does all the hard work for us. It's packaging up this model file, compressing it for us, and then gluing this up into our single project database up in the cloud. So all the heavy lifting is done for us by Glue. It's going to update this information, and once it's done, it'll give us a message saying, hey, everything's been uploaded. If you need to, go ahead and take a look at it in Glue. So a nice process here, again, giving us this anytime access, and that no matter where I am, as long as I have internet access on my model side, I can upload the information I need to for the project, and then that will be viewable by the rest of the project team. And there we have it. There's our notification that our models are being glued. When the process is complete, it will then send another dialog box up for us to let us know and give us the opportunity to go directly to the Glue application. Oh, there it is. That one happened nice and fast for us. So gluing is complete. Our models have been successfully glued. We do have the option to go right to Glue here and take a look at them. So that is how we gain access quickly from anywhere and anytime to our project. And then that's also how we upload information. We're going to take a step back now, fast forward a little bit, and take a look at having all the models in our project and do some merging of those models and some visual coordination. So if at this point you want to take an opportunity to go ahead and do this yourself, use your trial account on Glue to go ahead and upload models using the techniques I just showed you. As I had mentioned before, there are several ways to get information into the central model in the cloud via Glue. We've done the upload from an Autodesk product, in this case Revit. We can also browse or simply drag and drop files. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to switch over to my File Explorer. Here I have some Navisworks files, and I can see that my fire alarm file is here. I can go ahead and just drag and drop that. And now that file will be uploaded for me. Simple process for getting information into BIM 360 Glue. So we showed upload directly from a design application, as well as drag and drop and or browse. Another reminder that when you do browse, you have the ability to select a lot different or a lot more file types, right? So it's the same engine that we use on the Autodesk Navisworks side for reading files. So we have that 50 plus file formats available to us there as well. All right, so now let's take a look at moving into merged models. So you can see here, we fast forward a little bit. I've got some other models that are starting to glue here from other locations, the architecture, the HVAC, so on and so forth. And what I will wish to do right now is go ahead and create a merged model that combines multiple models. Select this cube or Rubik's Cube looking icon over here, which are all of our merged models. And I can quite simply select the Add Merged Model button. This then allows us to browse and check on or off the files we want to merge. So I'm going to grab my 5th and 6th floor framing, and then we should also have our level 5 HVAC, and what we're going to call this is, let's call this coordination model level 5. Now that I've got the one selected that I need to merge, I've got it named. I simply select the button to merge models, and it's going to go through, bring those files together, and then load the merged model for me. As you can see, we've got those files loading for us, and what it's doing is essentially streaming that information down from the central database, that central cloud project location, and displaying it to me here on my Autodesk BIM 360 Glue. Once we have that information, I can then explore and use straightforward navigation within this model. I can use my cursor to go ahead and zoom and pan around. I'm using the wheel right now, so it uses the same navigation tools that we're used to in our other Autodesk products. You'll notice we have the view cube here, so I can quickly change the direction of my view. We also have the full navigation toolbar that we're used to. We have our steering wheel here, so I can orbit around, I can zoom, I can also rewind and get back to one of my other views, as well as the other things we're used to seeing: walk, zoom, window, orbit again, as well as look around. So let's go ahead and try the walk, and we can see that we have that interactive environment we're used to working with all of our other Autodesk products. So a very consistent way to navigate and explore our models, even when they're being streamed down from the cloud. Now that we have that taken care of, let's say that we do want to then start to collaborate and share this information with a team member. So I've got my 2 files downloaded and shared here. Let's go ahead and just do some general zooming around, and we can see that maybe we've got an issue right here. Let me go to my other window here. And we've got something weird going on with these 2 diffusers here. So we'll zoom into these guys a little bit. We can easily take a snapshot of this view and share it with other project team members. In order to share this view, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to first save the view, and then we're going to send a notification of that view to the project stakeholders. To do so, we'll use our toolbar over here. We have several different types of tools. We, of course, have a selection tool, a measurement tool, ability to look at our models, and then here is the Views tab. So I'll go ahead and activate that. Right now we have no shared views, and we can also have our own private views. So if you have things in the model that you want to work with that the rest of the team doesn't need to see, you can go ahead and save those here as your personal views, or we can have shared views. I'll just go ahead and add this current viewpoint, and let's give it a title called Flipped, if I can type, Diffuser. We'll go ahead and say Save. And you'll notice that as soon as I've taken that action to save something to the project, I now have an activity saved for me here. The Flipped Diffuser view is saved. It tells me who saved it, how many versions there are, and when it was done. And anyone, because it is a shared view, anyone in the entire project can see this. You'll also see that I also have an envelope here, and this allows me to go ahead and notify. So there are a couple different ways to notify. Again, you can select the envelope. We can select the view here, and then from our drop-down, then choose Notify. So either way, selecting on the envelope on the view itself, or highlighting the view and then selecting Notify from the drop-down menu will get us there. I'll go ahead and select everyone in the project, and we'll go ahead and say, I don't know, something like, wow, I'll take a look at this, and we'll say Send. Just as simple as that, typing in a quick note, a couple check boxes. Now everyone on my project has been notified about this view available for them. They can in turn click on that and take a look. So I'll go ahead and dismiss this here, and if I was Deb and I was going to go ahead and keep working in this, I would do so. I'd keep viewing this model, taking a look at other things. At the same time, and this is the power behind BIM 360 Glue, the rest of the team that was just notified can have anytime, anywhere access to the same information. So now we're going to pause real quick. I'm going to flip over and look at one of the other users and doing what we call one-click to BIM access. So as I mentioned before, we're switching gears, and now I'm going to go into David's email here. We're David Sanchez, who's one of the project managers on this project. And we're going to look at his email here, and we notice that we just got a notification from BIM 360 Glue from the Oakwood Medical Center. This one's a little different than the initial invite we saw earlier. Go ahead and say show images here. Now we're getting the information. It tells us that Deb Miller of Project Oakwood Medical Center sent us a notification. Here's that text that we typed earlier as Deb. And I have links here now. So I can either select a link to see all the activities from Deb Miller within my project, or added a view flipped diffuser in the project. I'll go ahead and select on that. And now it takes me through, connects me to Glue, prompts me to log in, and this will give me that single-click access to the model again. So very powerful workflow here, in that the ability to notify and collaborate with users within the project simply by using emails and hyperlinks really advances the ability to streamline that traditional coordination workflow we talked about earlier. Instead of having to save information to a central database or a server or an FTP site. Instead, we can go ahead and share around a hyperlink from the cloud, and now simply by clicking on that hyperlink, I have access to that exact same view in the context for me, in this case as David, and now I can see that same information that Deb wanted to share with us. So we'll continue down this path of collaboration in the next steps, the next section of our training, where we'll go ahead and start to do some coordination and collaboration using some markups. At this point, if you wanted to pause and take yourself through a model in your trial site and do the same thing, go ahead and save a view, notify other project members about that view, just to get a good feel for the user experience.